Icons. Just about every city has them. They set the city apart from other cities. Bristol has more than its share of icons. Of course, we have the sign, the speedway, the train station, and of course the Bristol Municipal Stadium. Yes, I know, I didn't recognize that name either. It's the Stone Castle.
Probably in the late 60s, 1970, the name Stone Castle, and I think that came from the media, and the name Stone Castle came out. And of course we were state champions during that time, and there was a lot of publicity about the Stone Castle.
The Stone Castle has been a part of Bristol since 1934.
Amazingly enough, the stones that built the Stone Castle actually came from something that has been a thorn in our side always, and that's Beaver Creek. And so back in the early 1900s, we were having a lot of issues with flooding, and the federal government decided to come through and dig through Beaver Creek. And so they actually used the stone that they found when they were digging out Beaver Creek to build our beautiful Stone Castle.
It was the perfect WPA project. Pick up rocks, transport them to another site, and build a stadium. This was not the first time the WPA had built a stadium in Tennessee. This is Crump Stadium in Memphis. It was built with a capacity of 7,500 people, just barely larger than our stadium, but in 1936 it was enlarged to hold 25,000 people. But after the Liberty Bowl was built in the 1960s, the stadium fell on hard times, and in 2006 it was torn down. So only the Stone Castle is left.
This is one of the most unique places and stadiums in the entire United States, and it's here for the community of Bristol. When you talk to people at Tennessee High School, you talk to people in Bristol, those places that we have the most pride in is right here. You know, when we come in here and play a game or we have a band competition, this is our place. This is where Tennessee High competes. This is Tennessee High.
When I was here as athletic director, there would be people drive by and stop and walk in and say and wonder, what is this? You know, what is this stone wall that we see here? And it's not a game goes by, I'm sure, that a visiting parent or a visiting fan comes in and looks at the amazement of how well it's still preserved and what it looks like on the inside. And we always thought, as a football coach, and that was an advantage to us. The Stone Castle was always an advantage to us. When you hear about the home field advantage, well, to us that was really a home field advantage.
80 years is a long time for any structure to stand, and as can be expected, the old stadium is showing a lot of wear. But unlike its sister stadium in Memphis, the Stone Castle isn't having problems because of lack of use.
You know, here at Tennessee High, you know, the Stone Castle is our main playing field and playing surface for many events. You know, you've got, when you talk about football, you've got Vance and Tennessee High School, so you've got two teams at Vance, 7th and 8th grade, and then you've got 9th grade JV and varsity football here at Tennessee High School, and all of those sports, all of those football teams play here in the Stone Castle. Then you've got soccer. Right now in the fall we've got girls soccer, and you've got, once again, Vance Middle School soccer team, girls soccer team, and then you have Tennessee High soccer that's playing here as well. You know, we've got outside users like the Junior Vikings who are playing here in football, and they're in here most Saturdays during the fall, finding the usage time for the band. As far as, of course, you got the music in the castle, which is a big event, a wonderful event for our band, which they use, but then also finding time to practice and those types of things for the band inside the stadium. It becomes an issue with all of these events for wear and tear on the facility. You know, we have to cancel games when weather is not really that good, and we're afraid that the field is going to be torn up, because you want to maintain a playing surface that is good for all of these sports. So, you know, in the current situation, it's wonderful grass and everything. It does wear, and it does create situations where you can't provide the safe playing surface that you want to provide for these sports.
And it's not just the playing field that is the problem. The concrete bleachers are deteriorating, the concession stands haven't been modernized in years, and the restrooms definitely need some work.
We need, first and foremost, to update the stone castle, because that is like our living room, that is like our gathering place where we invite our guests, and we want that room to be spotless and updated and modern and make them feel welcome and want to come back. So that is our number one place that we want to update and modernize the stone castle.
Our bathroom facilities have not been updated in many years. I don't know how many years, but that is really sorely needed to get our bathrooms updated. I mean, we've done the best we could over the years with what we've had, but it really is important for visiting people from other areas when they come in to see our facility that they see stuff that is updated and newer.
And there's the concession stands.
When you're serving food out of a concession area, if it looks a little bit old and in need of repair, sometimes that might weigh on somebody's mind before they buy a bag of popcorn or a hot dog or something like that.
The stadium needs work, and that work will not be cheap. So there was a committee formed called the Stone Castle Rejuvenation Committee.
The first initiative for the Stone Castle Rejuvenation Committee was to basically answer a challenge, which was the result of a facility study here at the Bristol, Tennessee City Schools facilities that was to maximize the utilization of the stone castle. That came with the recommendation to put down artificial turf so that inclement weather any time during the week, any time during the year would not restrict the utilization of the stone castle. Our true focus is to make sure that this castle is prepped and in great condition for our Friday night football games, as it should be. And so what that does a lot of times through inclement weather is it causes events for some of these other students that play soccer and football at the younger levels to have their events canceled and or postponed. And that's something that we want to make sure that doesn't happen in the future. That challenge was both from the city as well as the city school system, who was willing to pay 25% and the other entity pay another 25% for the installation of the turf. We went to work and started raising the funds to accommodate the remaining $350,000.
Artificial turf on a high school athletic field? It's not uncommon at all.
Most of our surrounding rivalries do have artificial turf, and there's very few colleges that do not have artificial turf in their stadiums. Yeah, the turf we're looking at is what they call a fourth generation turf. It is absolutely what you see on all of the professional football team fields, and now they're associating less injuries with having turf more so than more injuries. Our Bristol, Tennessee City School Board, through a list of capital improvements, has also allocated some additional funds so that this year, along with putting in the artificial turf, we're going to have the opportunity to resurface the bleachers, the concrete bleachers on both sides, as well as the stairwells that go down from each side of the bleachers, get up some new hand railing, and most importantly, we want to get in some handicapped accessibility seating up in our stands. That's a major hindrance here within the stadium today, is that we can't accommodate some of our handicapped Viking fans. And with that will come some new restrooms right outside, where you come into the stadium in the plaza. We'll be taking the current tech area and turning that into a handicapped accessible men's and women's room, so that we can also bring those fans in and not only accommodate a safe surface for individuals to transition from down to the concessions and back up to their seating, but also to be able to accommodate some of our handicapped Viking fans to be able to easily get in and sit comfortably during an event, and then get back out whenever the event's over.
The amount of money that's needed to complete the rejuvenation of the stadium is substantial. There are 3 phases to the process. The first is almost already paid for and involves a new playing field, the improvements for better handicap accessibility, repairing and coating the bleachers, and to install new seating. Phase 2 and 3 involves repairing or replacing existing gates, windows, and fencing, installing the gates to the plaza area, building a new concession stand, a new flagpole and scoreboard, and building student bleachers and adding new restrooms. The total cost of the project is $3.2 million.
You know, there's a lot of pride in the stadium and the school, not just football, but all the sports programs and the band, and there's just so much interest in that. And you know what's interesting to me is the way this legacy wall has developed. And if you think about it, it is located between the Stone Castle and the school, an ideal place for the legacy of Tennessee High.
Yeah, I think the Stone Castle is a very important part of economic development for the city. Prospective businesses that look to locate here consider the conditions of schools and facilities. It helps them to recruit the best employees we have throughout the country for their businesses. Newer schools and updated facilities show our priorities to our children and to their well-being. It shows that we're a vibrant community and not a dying city.
We have history in Bristol, and we can look back at different things. We are the birthplace of country music. We did come about because two railroads crossed and we developed into an industrial town. We did have hard times to hit. There was poverty, but we overcame all those obstacles. And through those obstacles, we have one of the results is the Stone Castle, and is a lasting monument to our history, where we've came from, and also where we're going to go in the future. This is generations and generations of people who have enjoyed the Stone Castle, and it's a building that binds us all together in this area. It's one thing that we all have in common, that we love the Stone Castle.
For more information and to donate to the Stone Castle Rejuvenation Project, go to www.stonecastle.org or call 423-989-3766.